welcome to SaaS Leaders Lounge, powered by James Simpson, your go-to podcast for insights, where we chat with visionaries shaping the future of technology. I'm your host, Ramon, kicking off the episode today with our new guest, Amin Rabinia, the brain behind Glissando AI. Amin's work in AI, from deep learning to natural language processing, is revolutionizing how startups and SMBs leverage technology for growth. Today, we're diving into Amin's journey, the challenges and triumphs of building Glissando AI, and how his team is pushing the boundaries of AI innovation. Hi, Amin. How are you doing today?
Ramon, I'm doing good. How are you? Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, I'm doing excellent. You're welcome. It's definitely a pleasure to have you on board. But where are you located at the moment?
I'm located in Sacramento area in California.
Beautiful, beautiful place, I must say. So, Amin, to dive straight into it, are you able to share more about a recent innovation or feature Glissando AI has introduced?
Sure. So one core product that we try to perfect in Glissando AI is related to sales and marketing. And AI has a lot of use cases these days, but one main use case for AI products are chatbots and voice AI, so they can answer phone calls. They can facilitate repetitive tasks that it just takes time for human operators to do those tasks.
Yeah.
And AI is like the best choice right now to fulfill those requirements. So a recent product that we built is a phone operation app. It can listen to the phone calls. It can process the incoming voices and answer those using large language models, LLMs, and then responds back in AI generated voice, human-like voice. And it feels like there is another human on the other side of the phone, and it's very intelligent. It's very flexible. It can capture questions and orders of a customer over the phone, translate those to text, answer those questions, and then give those answers in real voice back to the customer. So it's going to make a lot of businesses more productive with catching up on the customers' orders and automating a lot of those order capture process, and give the employees and the business owners more time to spend on things that make their business better instead of just answering the phone and doing repetitive tasks. So that's a huge breakthrough in our company, and it's a huge product that we recently built.
It sounds like a game changer for businesses, I must say. What inspired the development of this new feature or innovation, and what challenges did you face during its implementation?
Sure. So I've had a lot of clients who asked for this or some sort of solution for their phone operation, right? So because if you are
Yeah.
answering a phone call, you can only answer one phone call at a time. And if you are busy, you cannot answer 2, 3 other phones. So you're gonna have a lot of missed phone calls. So in order to solve that problem, we thought, okay, AI can handle infinite number of phones, literally. So, and if today we are at a point that AI tools are so intelligent that can handle that problem. So 2 years ago, that was
Yeah.
not a possibility, but today it is actually a real solution. So that's the motivation. The challenges are, as you know, AI is very new. So if you run into a problem, for example, latency of the AI chatbot or AI phone operator, there is
Yeah.
no help out there. There is no best practices established out there. There is no even experienced engineers out there, you can recruit to solving problems. So everything is new. Everything is experimental. And building a product for like production ready product that businesses can deploy, it's very challenging. So you have to design the product, and then you have the MVP, and then you have the beta version, and then the alpha version,
Yeah.
right? And iterating through all these phases and trying to improve the quality takes a lot of work. And after you deploy the product, you still have to monitor and test it and evaluate it and improve the quality. So that's like, I would say that's the biggest challenge, to have something stable and give it to the customer, basically.
Most definitely. I think, as you mentioned, from the MVP to the different versions, the beta and the alpha, I think overcoming those technical hurdles and fine-tuning the algorithms, it's only to demonstrate kind of your commitment to delivering the high quality or the highest quality AI solution. How does Glissando AI leverage AI technologies like natural language processing and computer vision to solve real-world problems?
Sure. So as I mentioned, one example like answering phone calls or chatbots, people go on the websites and they spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they try to find an answer like to their question. So mostly that this question, is this website, is this service for me? Does it answer my
Yeah,
question? Should I spend more time digging deeper into this website? And if you have a chatbot on your website that can take that specific question, because every visitor has a unique perspective, wants to ask a unique question, right?
sure.
And the AI chatbot powered by LLMs and natural language processing engines can take that question and answer that question creatively, so the visitors on the website can get the answers quickly instead of spending 20 minutes, 30 minutes going through all the web pages on the website. That's a huge, basically, it's a huge step forward for improving website qualities. And
Yeah,
it's a very core use case of natural language processing. Computer vision also, on the other hand, is making huge breakthroughs. So we have real-time object detection right now in computer vision. So just like, so humans can track objects, maybe one or two at the same time, real time. If one object going this way, another object going that way, it's really hard for people to, keep track of what's
it's
going on. But
true.
computers can literally see hundreds of objects and track hundreds of objects at the same time, real time. And that is huge. So one use case is like controlling traffic in sports, seeing which player is moving where, tracking the
Yeah,
ball in the field. In sciences, tracking animals, right? So it has a lot of huge use cases, and today's technology, we can deploy these models very efficiently on small devices like a smartphone. You don't even need a supercomputer for that. So I would say the present and future of AI is getting really exciting with natural language processing and computer vision.
I agree. It's clear to see how these technologies can drive customer engagement and ultimately boost sales or responses for an e-commerce business. I actually recently worked with a company and they created kind of a computer vision solution where customers can send the image or a video of a defect product and they can be issued a refund instantly. So that kind of speed is definitely a game changer, as mentioned. An important topic, AI regulation. Do you think the current regulatory frameworks are sufficient to guide the ethical development and deployment of these AI technologies?
Right. I'm not sure if they're gonna ever be sufficient, but they're necessary. And I would say they can have some sort of impact on the deployment, not development. So
Yeah,
everybody can these days using a personal computer within their phone develop some sort of AR product, right? You cannot really
yeah,
enforce any regulation on that. Uh,
it's chocolate.
but having some regulations for deploying AI products is necessary. I would argue we cannot get sufficient regulatory measures out there to monitor and enforce any sort of law on deploying AI. But
It's
we need
true.
to do our best to enforce the basic, the most necessary regulations out there. For example, if the harm is obvious, like using AI for scamming people over the phone, right? It's a huge problem. Um,
Yeah,
I get a lot of phone calls, like scam phone calls, and it's like voice recorded, and I know it's a
tell me
recorded
about it.
voice. But if the voice starts interacting with me, asking me question, answering my question, it feels very real. So uh, we need to do something about that at some point. But again, regulations are very slow, and I'm not sure if they can keep up with the speed of innovations these days.
Definitely. I guess it's a balance between innovation and ethical consideration that you need to get right. I'm even touching on what you said there, where you get a lot of scam calls. A story close to me, a friend of mine's mum received a call from her daughter saying that they demanded money and she was
Why?
on holiday and stuck, and it actually sounded like it was her daughter. But she managed to call her daughter on a mobile, and her daughter was like, I haven't called you or anything today. So it's just clear to
Mm.
see how advanced and important these kind of ethical regulations need to be taken into consideration so it doesn't get out of hand.
I would say also people need to
Yeah.
get a little bit more smarter these days. People need to keep up with the AI. So maybe if regulations cannot protect you in real time, because it takes time to come up with new laws, maybe people need to be more educated. Just listening to these, educational podcasts and learn about the latest technologies and misuse
It's
of these
true.
technologies. So they can know how to protect themselves when something happens.
Yeah, that's highly important, especially for the older generation who are not aware of this AI advancements at the moment. And moving forward on to the next question, are you able to explain the concept of zero-shot training and prompt injection for custom LLM solutions and why it's significant for businesses looking to implement AI?
Sure. So, uh, LLMs are huge language models, large language models, and
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense for businesses to go and train large language models like the way we used to do it in the past, because we had a small natural language processing model and we used to train it. Now, with the LLMs, they're already trained on billions or trillions of data points, right?
yes.
A small or mid-sized business, even a large business, cannot really make a huge impact on this huge model with
Mm,
retraining. So one very important approach here is to customize these models, answers and inferences using zero-shot training. Zero-shot training means you don't give it any data for training that model. You basically ask the model to give you the answer that you want. For example, you say, okay, I want to answer this question or this phone call or this chat prompt with this type of style or with this given knowledge. And here are a few
yeah,
examples, right? So if you give it a few examples, that is few shot. If you give it no example, that's zero shot, basically. So the
okay,
LLM learns how to answer those questions with the given inputs, with the prompt that you give it. It's very powerful for businesses because they can just start it with basically zero investment on training and all of that. They can just
yeah.
use off-the-shelf solutions like Geely APIs and run their business with no huge investment upfront. So it's really powerful for small businesses, especially.
Definitely. Would it be right to say the flexibility and adaptability they provide are sure to be valuable assets for businesses seeking tailored AI applications?
Sure. So, right. So a huge breakthrough in AI these days is prompt engineering. So,
Yeah.
uh, prompt engineering gives you a lot of flexibility. Back in the day, like 2, 3 years ago, if you had
Mm,
a machine learning model, AI model, you couldn't really take that and apply it for another business. You had to go and
yeah.
design that solution from scratch, from 0 to 100. Now we have more flexibility with the prompt engine. We can take the same model and say, okay, now do this type of chatbot for a mechanic shop. Do this chatbot for ice cream shop. Do this for barber shop. You just change the prompt, the model is as is, and then you have so much more flexibility with that. And that
Yeah.
drives down the cost for businesses to utilize AI.
Brilliant. No, thank you so much for that explanation. As AI continues to evolve, what do you believe are the most crucial skills for professionals in this field to develop today?
Right. So if you want to consider like for small mid-sized businesses, I would say marketing and advertisement and sales. AI engineers need to have that sort of like skill set that is not inside the technical skill set. Probably they
Yeah.
already know what technical skill sets they need, but uh, in terms of communicating with the customers, understanding your customers, they need to have that
Mm,
understanding of marketing, for example. Because if you're going out to sell a website has been around for a decade or two. People already know
yeah,
about it. But with the AI, people don't know what they don't know. Like they don't know how to use computer vision. They don't know how to use natural language processing. And if you don't understand your customer, if you don't understand marketing, who's their, let's say, customer segments, who's their ideal customer profile, you cannot communicate with them. You cannot offer solution to these businesses. Even though you are so talented building AI products, you don't know how to sell it. You don't know how to customize it for the businesses. So I would say that's the skill every AI engineer who targets small and mid-sized businesses needs to master in order to be successful.
definitely. In one of the episodes previously, we had a gentleman called Heo. He's the founder of Chat Simple, and I asked him what was the biggest difficulty during the first 6 months, and he said the same thing as you, not having sales and marketing skills. He was a professional, an ex-Google person, and excellent at kind of AI engineering, but he said that really kind of held him back. But after he was able to grasp kind of more sales and marketing kind of exposure, he definitely saw his business pick off the ground much quicker. So yeah, thank you definitely for that answer.
Yeah, just to add on there's like another layer of complexity added to this, and that
Yes.
is lack of trust. So people, like somebody comes to you, wants to give you a job, they don't want to come off as like somebody who doesn't know about what they want, right? So they try to give you their problem and their solution. So they will say, I have this problem and this is how I want to solve it. And I'm like, that's not the best solution. I have better solution, but
Yeah.
because they don't trust you or they don't know you, they insist on their own solution. You need to build that trust. You need to make them feel comfortable and establish the authority that you know what you're doing and what you recommend with the solution makes sense.
Yeah.
Building that connection takes a lot of time and skill basically to master. And it's the biggest challenge for small businesses to adopt AI solutions these days.
Couldn't agree more with you. I mean, definitely. And looking ahead to the future, where do you see the field of AI heading in the next 5 to 10 years, particularly in relation to small and medium-sized businesses?
Right. So last year AI was accepted as a new revolution in technology and in
Yeah.
businesses. This year and moving forward, this decade, next decade is going to be more AI adoption and it's going to be much slower. Uh, AI research and literature and discoveries are pretty fast nowadays. Every week I get some new news about like major breakthrough in AI, developments. But AI
Oh, got
adoption
it.
in the in different industries, especially for small, mid-sized, even large businesses, it's very slow. It's much slower than the AI discoveries and developments. So I would say
Hmm.
moving forward, we're going to see more adoption of AI slowly, more adoption of AI chatbots, more adoption of voice AI, more computer vision, uh, more data analytics using AI. A lot of communications are going to be AI generated. So these days we spend a
Yeah.
lot of time communicating, whether it's for sales or marketing, advertisement, or it's internal communication in companies. Uh, we're going to use a lot of AI for those, and AI is going to be adopted for a lot of tasks that we're doing these days, and it takes a lot of time from employees. Um, I would say people learn more about AI in the next few years, as
Yeah.
if just like how they learn about smartphones, and internet, they're gonna learn about AI.
Definitely.
So in 5 years, if we talk about this topic that we have right now, it's gonna be boring because people already know about all of this. So
We hope so, most definitely. I know there's been a mass creation of different AI solutions, so I think it needs to follow that the customers grow as well with the adoption to make a smooth future. But what emerging AI technology or trend are you most excited about, and how do you envision it impacting the industry?
Right. So, I think so. We have this concept of AGI, artificial general intelligence. I think this is real. This was science fiction 2 years ago,
Yeah,
even last year, even today. Some people don't believe it, but I believe it's real. It's getting much smarter AI. So right now we have large language model and then large vision models, and then we have a combination of these large models. They call them large multimodal models. So they can
yeah,
speak, they can hear, they can even touch. So they can do a lot of
everything
activities that
very human-like.
yes. So they're gonna be generally intelligent, and that is very exciting because they can basically take over a lot of mundane tasks that people do these days, and nobody
Yeah,
enjoys doing those tasks. Nobody likes to, picking up the same phone and asking the same question, all day around, and then like tomorrow, next day, next day, next week.
it's
So
true.
AI can take care of all of this. And then another more exciting challenge, which I'm hoping is going to come out maybe sooner than the end of this decade, is going to be super intelligence, which is going to be replacing basically scientists and engineers. So, so
Well,
this is a really high expectation. This is still like sci-fi, but I can see that computers, given enough data and computational support, um, and maybe a new paradigm in training and learning, they can become so capable that they can take over more creative tasks like creating arts, like genuine creative arts, or
definitely.
scientific discoveries, or engineering innovation. They can do that once we get to the level of super intelligence. So, I mean, who knows when that happens? I'm very excited for that.
No, me too, especially. I think even you touched on it there with kind of the video creation they've got going now. I always think about how this could affect physics within science through kind of the creation of
Mm.
those videos as well. So we're definitely going to see much more advancements and much more solutions from what's been created already. If you could create an AI to do one task for you, I know you touched on many boring tasks earlier, but no matter how ridiculous or mundane, what would that task be and why?
Right. So what you see behind me, that's my coffee bar. I roast my own
Yes.
coffee. Uh, Sometimes I burn the coffee beans because it's too hot or it's like too slow, whatever. And I always
Yes.
have this problem of roasting perfect coffee beans and then brewing that coffee, yeah, extracting espresso shots. I would appreciate some sort of AI robot or AI assistant that can tell me that's enough roasting. Now go do this technique to do your espresso shot so I could have this espresso shot because it helps me a lot to be productive and start my day with full energy and full potential. So
Most
yeah, I
definitely.
would say I would say sales is really good also if you have some sort of espresso assistant. So
I agree with yourself, most definitely. And I think if you was ever to create such a solution or knew somebody, I think selling it to the likes of Starbucks and or Pret it would definitely be a fantastic
yeah,
thing. I'll be surprised if they don't have something similar already, to be honest.
yeah,
So fun. So, I mean, as we wrap up this insightful conversation, I thought we could have a bit of fun and dive into a different kind of exploration. We've talked about AI innovation and the journey of Glissando AI. I think it would be great to get a glimpse of the person behind the vision. Are you ready for a quick fire round to reveal some of your preferences that make you you?
sure.
Fantastic. So, do you prefer cats or dogs?
Okay, that's a hard question. So I have a cat. Her name is Rosie. She's always taking nappy on the couch. I prefer cats because it's easier. You learn a lot from cats. How to be smarter, I would say. How to demand what you want without like being needy or being demanding. Um, but I
That's
would
true.
say dogs are also very lovely. You learn from dogs how to be kinder. I think not necessarily smarter, but how to be kinder. It's a little bit harder for me to do the maintenance for dogs, but otherwise I love dogs and cats equally.
Yeah, I'm the same with you. I love the protectiveness of dogs, but I'm more of a cat person. My cat's called Panda, and you can probably guess what color she is as well. Brilliant. So, would you? Oh, this is probably a no-brainer, but do you prefer coffee or tea?
Yes, I love coffee, but sometimes you feel like having a cup of black tea or chai
Yeah,
or something different. So I appreciate. So yesterday I went to an Indian store. I saw like they
yeah,
have like a range of different type of tea. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna experiment more with these tea. With coffee, it's kind of harder because I get the beans and roast it myself. But with
yeah.
tea, it's already there. It's like prepared with these spices and everything.
True.
So I just pick it and use it. So much easier to learn about tea. Yeah.
Thanks for the answer. I agree with you on that one. Do you prefer the winter or the summer?
Oh boy, it's getting kind of hot here already, and I feel kind of sad because winter is very short here in Northern California, and it's like a long fall basically, not even spring. It's a
Yeah.
long fall, and then you have spring, and spring is very short, and then you have summer, so it's kind of warm at this point. Yeah, I'm more like a winter person. I like to be in a house cozy and do my work. I try to go out for a walk like for an hour or two if it's nice, but the rest of the day I prefer to stay in, so really I don't care what's happening out there.
I think I might have to agree to disagree on that one. I'm more of a summer person myself, to be honest.
Good.
Are you more of a morning person or a night owl?
So I actually learned something new recently. I watched a video and it explained people come in three main categories of their sleep pattern.
True.
The lion category, people who wake up early morning at 5 and they go to bed early. And then the bear category, which is the majority of people, they wake up around 6 or 7 and they go to bed around 10, 11. And then the wolf category, people who go to bed past midnight and they wake up late at 8 or 9. I think I'm more like Wolf. I try to wake up early in the morning, but like it takes me hours to really wake up. After having my coffee, still it takes me an hour or two to. But when I wake up late in the morning, I feel more energized. I feel more creative. Past afternoon, in the evening, I feel more productive, more creative. So definitely, I'm not a morning person. That's a short thing.
Better to catch Amin at night time if you want a positive discussion.
Yes.
Brilliant. So, do you prefer books or movies?
Oh, books for sure. Uh, I don't know what's special about books. It's more engaging.
Yeah,
Books that the authors, it's just like one person is in charge of creating that product versus movies are like multiple people. So if
it's
you
true.
know the director, it's no guarantee that the actors are gonna be amazing, right? So there's always a trade-off. But with the books, it's like a safe bet. Also, books are, I would say, more engaging than a movie. With the movie, you're passively watching. With the book, you're reading and thinking at the same time.
I
So it's
agree.
more engaging because it's slower. You can. So the most books that I read are science and philosophy, and
Yeah.
I have like a critical mindset. So I read one sentence or one paragraph, and I'm like, "Is this right? How can I apply this to my life? Do I have any past experiences that resonate with its passage?" So
Yeah.
it gives you more time to interact with the content. So definitely I'm a book
That's great.
person.
That's a great perspective, definitely, I mean, and yeah, I agree with yourself on that as well in terms of the content that you can take in at a better pace. Last question. Do you prefer the city life or the countryside?
Countryside. So every day, uh, as I'm getting older, I feel like I need to be somewhere more peaceful and slower and more quiet, closer to the nature than when I was younger. When I was younger, I wanted to be in the city area, closer to downtown,
Yeah.
more. younger, more active people, a lot of stuff to do. But now it's like I need somewhere to be focused and be quiet and be focused on my work and be more productive because uh, there's more distraction in the city lifestyle. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would try to go as far as possible from the civilizations if I had that option. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, that was some fun and very insightful answers. And we love to keep a collaborative nature on the SaaS Leaders Lounge podcast. So we always ask a guest to ask a question to the next guest, and they also get to answer a question from the previous guest. So prior to yourself, we had a gentleman called Alan Gormley. He's actually the CEO of a company called Shopbox. They're basically an AI e-commerce business. His question to yourself, Amin, is there one thing that you really focus on and go back to every time that gives you the energy to keep moving?
Okay, so if I want to distract from work and get to my personal life, I would say music. I play piano for almost 20 years now, and each time I look at one piece of music that I practice and I learn the whole journey, uh, first time is first time is like impossible. You look at it, it's like this is too hard. I cannot do anything, and then you start
It's true.
slowly, and then next day, next week, then you get really good at it, and you can perform it for other people and record it. And each time I look at all my piano music, and I say like, I can do this. I can do it. When I go to work and it's hard and it's difficult, if there are problems, I know I can do it because I have a lot of experience going through the same process in music. So I'll
Yeah.
say that's the biggest source of inspiration for me professionally and artistically.
Oh, that's music to my ears. Excuse the pun. I'm actually a prime musician myself, so I think that's
Yeah.
something I always draw back to keep me going as well. Even sometimes whilst working, I get motivated by listening to past tunes of myself as well. But yeah, I
Mm.
hope no one looks up Spotify for them at all, as I'm definitely a different person now. I was more of a rapper back in the day. But yeah, so moving forward, what's your question for the next guest, Amin, who's going to be a gentleman called Elnor? He's the founder of a company called Real Eyes. They've launched an organization which focuses on computer vision for leading organizations.
Right. Well, I would ask this question: if you wake up one morning and you see on your phone this email from your bank, and your bank account is $0, what would you do first?
Very interesting question, I must say, and I'm sure all of our listeners would love to hear the answer from Elna as well. So yeah, please tune in to the next episode, Amin, to hear that yourself. But again, thank you for sharing that. Before we bring this conversation to a close, I wanted to give you the opportunity to share with our listeners where they can find more about you, your work, and Glissando AI. Where should they go to dive deeper?
Sure. They can find me on LinkedIn. Amin Rabinia. My website Glissando.ai. They can learn more about the services we provide. Uh, Also, there are podcasts on the internet, on YouTube. I talk about AI marketing and advertisement. And they can also send me an email, amin@glissando.ai. I would be more than happy to talk to people about their project and learn about their business problems and offer some basic solutions. Uh, and you can also uh, find me on some other social medias. I don't recommend going
Yeah.
down that route, but I'm on Google Scholar, on Facebook, other places. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's how they can stay in touch with me.
Fantastic. I encourage everyone to check out Amin's incredible work and innovative solutions Glissando AI is bringing to the AI space. I will put all of the details Amin just mentioned in the About section under the YouTube channel. And overall, it's truly inspiring to see the impact you're making, Amin. And with that, we've come to the end of today's episode of SaaS Leaders Lounge. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your journey and insights and exciting developments at Glissando AI. It's been an absolute pleasure. To our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to SaaS Leaders Lounge on your favorite podcast platform to stay updated on our AI series and much more. We've got a lineup of amazing guests just like Amin, and you won't want to miss out on the wisdom they have to share. Until next time, keep innovating and leading the way in SaaS. Goodbye for now, Amin. Thank you so much for your time today.
Well, thank you very much.
Brilliant. Take care.